People were dreaming all over America in 1971. Berkeley and the free speech movement, the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King Jr., anti-Vietnam War protests. Tom Hayden and the Students for a Democratic Society wrote the famed Port Huron Statement in 1961, in which they charged, "Students don't give a damn about the apathy." In 1971, Baker University became the home of a student-initiated organization that was to kindle the already burning fire of environmentalism. The environmental movement had already taken off. Clean Air, Water Pollution Conservation Acts, they had already pushed their way through Congress in the 1960s. By 1970, the United States had celebrated their first Earth Day and later established the Environmental Protection Agency that year. It was in this atmosphere that Buck Firth began his education at Baker University. An eco-nut to the core, he organized one of the original activist groups on Baker's campus in order to engage in the battle against pollution.
So I came down to Baker, and the opportunity was here that I didn't have in high school,
Right.
or even up in Johnson County, to explore different options. That's what was so neat.
Dear American Can Company of North Kansas City, at Baker University in Baldwin, Kansas, there's a unique organization getting started that goes by the name of GAD. It's an ecology group, which may not sound too unique, but we have a goal that's not been attempted before. The goal is to run Baldwin, Kansas on a purely ecological basis. GAD's vision stepped beyond the threshold of awareness alone. The goal of the organization from the beginning was to transform the community's outlook on the environment while simultaneously inspiring direct action to join the plight of preserving the earth and her resources. In the presented proposal for a new student organization, Firth listed GAD's purpose as dedicated to the work for the betterment of the environment and to commit ourselves to relate and follow an ecological guideline to save the environment from human apathy.
We wanted people to give a damn.
James Buck Firth was the visionary, the inspiration that GAD needed to take it through its successes during the first 2 years of the group's operation. He was known as somebody who was transformed by the call to care for Mother Earth.
So maybe I was, at that time beginning to march, to a little different drum.
Firth and the GAD group were relentless in their communication towards community ecological groups and state and national congressmen. Senator Norman Garr of Kansas visited Baker on a number of occasions to spread education. Senators George McGovern and Thomas Eagleton made up the Democratic ticket in the 1972 election, both of which directly corresponded with the GAD group. While the group traveled to D.C. together, Firth also made the trip on one occasion by himself.
Go up on the floor of the United States Senate and tell them what I thought. And sit down in one of the senators' seats. I'm going, and then of course one of the Secret Service guys wondered what I was doing.
Yeah.
And they said, you're not supposed to be here. So.
GAD's main focus was recycling. Firth surveyed the entire town of Baldwin, seeking to discover their attitudes towards recycling in order to create the best framework in which to reach their goal. His paper was honored as the best undergraduate paper in the state of Kansas in April of 1972. GAD organized a community-wide meeting in which to present the paper and better formulate a plan with those outside of the university willing to help. The group sought a filling station on the corner of 7th and High to use for the recycling center, but the owner was seeking too costly of a monthly rent. Thus, the plans for a recycling center fell through. As Firth commented, as students, they didn't have a vested interest. Needed to persuade those in power and politics to change. They were just seen as students, as members of the community, living there, paying taxes, electing officials, and so on. They weren't doing that. GAD was involved in a ton of other campus activities. With a grant, they brought a number of environmental books to the library. On every Baker Day, they had a booth set up for the new incoming students. Bi-weekly trash pickups were a part of a national campaign. Firth played the main role in a musical called Count Me In that traveled around to different places in the community and other churches. Baker was listed as one of 7 organizations on a nationally administered bulletin called the Environmental Action Bulletin. 8th graders from New York were writing to Firth and the organization seeking environmental advice. The group left Baker both a legacy and a lesson. They represented a time in which students were completely transformed by a cause bigger than the self. Students became genuine agents of social change under a community-based vision, utilizing non-violent, creative techniques in order to accomplish an agenda. Firth now resides in the Kansas City area, currently working as a chaplain for a hospice service. Since GAD, he has been detained on 3 different occasions for non-violent social activism. His Facebook today is plastered with links and quotes proclaiming peace to all, including Mother Earth. His message to the youth of today matches the passion he exhibited while leading Baker's historic Give a Damn group. Today, the call for young people is again loud and strong, to again be the progressive change that we need to be for the sake of future generations. We have but one Earth. Let us respect it, love it, and care for it. The future is in your hands. Speak, act, and do. For to sin by silence makes cowards of us all. Let us proclaim today our commitment to stand for what is right, for what is just. Let us today commit ourselves to save Mother Earth from selfishness, greed, and insensitivity. Today, right now, from this day forth, let us sound the alarm. Let us speak, act, and do. For we must, for Earth's sake. Buck Firth, Statement to Give a Damn Demonstration, April 27, 2011.